Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits. I hope the sound is better this morning. I have a little lapel mic here. And the title of this talk is Mini-Me and the Queen's Gambit. I hope a lot of you have seen the Queen's Gambit. And I was thinking about, one thing about chess is that it's all about checkmate. And the surprise, when you think you've got all your strategies going and you're playing and you're going to win, and suddenly, boom, you're checkmated. And so a lot of the Queen's Gambit is about the checkmate. Of course, the Queen is this young woman who is playing in a man's world, chess, and she's checkmating him. And many of them just leave in disgust and anger and throw the thing down, but the master is surprised at the beauty of the checkmate. In other words, when you're checkmated, there's a beauty to it. A checkmate means you haven't got any more moves. You're locked in. No matter what you do, you're checked. There's no option. There's no way out. No strategies, no techniques, no master plans. Nothing will get you out. Checkmate. Another name for the checkmate is the double bind. A double bind is when you're in a lose-lose situation where nothing you can do is a win. Everything you do is a lose. You can't choose. This creates tremendous anxiety, panic attack, and even suicide, great violence, because you have to choose. You have to, you can't, the double bind is like a microphone in an amplifier. Wow, 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 turn it off. If you don't turn it off, wow, 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 it'll blow up the amplifier. So when you get into double bind, you got to find a way out. Otherwise, it goes wow, 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 pew, pew. Or a civil war. Or total destruction. If I can't get out, I'm going to destroy everything. You see, total destruction. Hitler in the bunker. Just destroy Germany, everything, destroy everything. So anyway, there's a connection here between the Queen's Gambit and checkmating and the double bind. Now, the other part of this thing was the mini-me. The mini-me, the Austin Powers mini-me, the little mini, the big me, and the little middle me. So let's talk about Zen for a minute, because I practice, I'm not a Zen Buddhist, but I practice Zen in the sense that I'm constantly discovering Zen, particularly the Zen cone. The Zen cone is a double bind that the Zen master puts the monk in. For instance, the monk, he holds up a stick and he says to the monk, if you say this is a stick, I'll hit you with it. If you say it's not a stick, I'm going to hit you with it. Now, which is it? Choose, or I'm going to hit you. That's a double bind. If you say it is a stick, whack. If you say it isn't a stick, whack. Now, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Checkmate. Checkmate, you see. So mini-me. All right, so let's talk about, so I discover checkmates in my life. I love them. They're beautiful. So let's describe one. So yesterday I bought a new Mini Mac. Mini Mac's a little Mac. It's about like that, you see. And I have an old Mini Mac, but it was so old it was very slow. So I thought it was time to get a faster computer. So I got a new Mini Mac. And I have a wireless keyboard. So I hook up the Mini Mac, the new one, and it starts to upload, and it says, create your account, What's the name of your computer? What's the password that will open the computer? Well, the keyboard wouldn't work. And the only way to get the wireless keyboard to work is to open up the computer and connect it as a Bluetooth wireless. So in other words, I was checkmated. I couldn't type in the password to get to the point where I could open up the desktop and check the Bluetooth and the connections. So it was wow, 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 wow. And so I messed with it. So it was an example of a checkmate. And we come into these, particularly with computers, we're always coming into this beautiful checkmate where no matter what you do, you're caught in a loop. No matter what you do, you lose. It's Catch-22. The movie Catch-22 was about the checkmate, the insanity of it, where in order to do this, you have to go there, but in order to go there, you have to do this, you see. I do passports here, ID cards and passports and identification cards, and a lot of time people will come and they say, well, I'm in a checkmate here. They say, I need to go here to get an ID card. I have to have an ID card to do that, but I have to go over here, I have to have that. In other words, they in the snafu, in the thing. So the point is that there's a beauty to it. That in the Queen's Gambit, there's a beauty to the checkmate. That even though you lose, there's a beauty to it. Now, Zorba the Greek is about a checkmate. What do you do when you're checkmated? Well, you dance or you laugh. In other words, when you are checkmated, when you're caught in the double bind, and it's beautiful. Oh, it's perfect. You just laugh at the absurdity of it. You just break out in a laughter, which is a dance. So the point is that mini-me, if there is a point, mini-me is mini-me because there's a big me. A mini-Mac is a mini-Mac because there's a big Mac. But the big Mac, the big me, you see, is not conscious. It's bigger than consciousness. It's your whole being. It's the whole world. It's big. It's beyond your little thinking mind. So mini-me is a thinking mind, a language mind, a logical mind that wants to win. Little me wants to win. But when it gets caught in a double bind, in a checkmate, that's a master. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, it's so beautiful. You see. If you laugh at the beauty of it, the joy of it, even though you lose, even though you're wiped out, if you laugh at it, mini-me becomes big-me. Mini-me is checkmated when mini-me cannot choose. Now in Zen, you welcome this. You want this to happen. The master, if you play with a master, he's going to checkmate you. He's going to put you in a situation where the mini-me is checkmated and it just explodes into laughter, into awakening of big me. Big me. You see, big me is joyous because it has no boundaries. Big me can't be checkmated. Big me includes win and loss. Big me embraces like win, lose, win. Big me is both of them together. So when your little me gets checkmated, your mini me gets checkmated, look at the beauty of it. Laugh, dance. It's a joyous moment. Because now in that moment of surrender, of laughter, you're big me. You're big me. Mini me and big me are one me. Thanks for dropping in. Hope you have a checkmate in your life.